Do we not? Does it have that effect? You know, I think it was Kukuka looking towards Zeke in this to be quite the instigator to some of the advantage, but I think the entire roster has a little bit of that necessity at this point. So we go back in. It is map 3 between G2 and Acend, and well, G2, there is life in them yet, Mike, but they have to show it here again.
We do indeed. Actually getting off to a pretty quick start here from G2 straight through. Going to put the wall behind the Viper just to reinforce, try and get this plant down. Let's see, the poison orb goes up, and that's enough of a deterrent to force Mixwell off the plant initially. They'll be able to wait out the snake bite here and get this one down. Mixwell will eat a little bit of the paint shell and actually will fall trying to get it away from the plant. That second piece of utility key here, but G2 get themselves into a post-plant position.
Yeah, but look how just tentative this is. No real safety. As soon as they cross forward, I don't think Hoodie even really saw them. Smokes in the way, wall in the way, but the flash is good. Zeke does turn the vast majority of it and gets to move forward. Unbeknownst to G2 how close he may be, but Cned's already fallen. This is still just 2 standing. Zeke and Vac, that's all that's remaining. Zeke still firing in all cylinders though. And a quick piece comes out from Vac as well, pushing through, taking the fight, but Vac's HP is drastically low. As Meadow will hold it just about in hand for G2.
Again, with that HP count, the last weapon you want to see is the Frenzy coming through there, able to just find the last blow. But again, Acend made him work for it. Yes, G2 get themselves into a post-plant position, and actually a very, very deep 1v1. I'm not even sure who have overwon that initial engagement with, but Zeke able to slip through onto shore almost makes it doable for Acend there. So it's only going to be light shield thrown in, a couple of headhunter shots for Cned. Nothing else at all from Acend thrown into this round. A decent opportunity actually with Hoodie up on the Vandal here. Round 2 purchase, and Acend will walk out showers here. At least just clear off some of these close angles. You two almost anticipating a little bit of aggression here.
Rightly so. I think you do need to kind of somewhat be cautious of, the stacks or anyone trying to get a little bit cheeky with play. He's coming through again for now.
Oh, Cena nearly found that one as well.
Oof. He's so dangerous, but is forced away. So again, early work done, but you don't leave it too late, right? You don't leave it down to those 15 seconds to make that sight hit, but there's that late exploration. But Avova has been on this case generally. Now the timing's right. He's been able to spot the player. Gets tagged up a little bit. Certainly not as clean as he'd like, but Starzo is going to be walking away with 8 HP and barely keeping his life. But it is coming back towards his A hit.
Takes a full 78 damage off that headshot, but you're right, Starzo coming out definitely the worst of it. Try and play off the paint shell, but invested pretty deep here, and actually the response from G2 will force their way into lamps as well. The Nookie with a ton of control here, and actually a very deep poison orb as well, Lauren.
Yeah, but there's an army on the other side, and Nookie has to deal with it. There's so many problems coming his way. They're bounding through, going to take one with him, but Meadow now needs to be on red alert. They're still doing damage, but it's the next layer of this, and actually the flash is fantastic for the punish towards Hoodie. The trade comes in again, but this is getting dangerous. Monster, the timing was perfect. The crunch through by U-Haul, the pinch through the wall, it couldn't have worked out better. And Acend answer right back into this, and they had so little in this round.
How the hell did they get away with that? I mean, the Trailblazer comes through from Acend to try and clear their way back into lamps. It looks as if G2 have a perfect setup there with Nookie so deep, able to play off the poison orb, but there was no second player there. You see Acend just come barreling through here, bunny hopping out of the poison orb, and they find everything they need to. Hoodie eats everything off that flash as well, and Monster finds 2 kills on the back of it.
Timing on that, perfect.
G2 letting that one slip. I've got to say it. That was in the bag.
You don't normally see those getting turned. You really don't. That's a bit of a fumble. And the double stack on the swing as well. Vac going to punish Hoodie on this one. We can see the purchase as well for G2. It's Sheriff's Frenzies. I think there was potentially a Marshal at the start, and Monster just sharp aim today. Going to find Mixwell, keeping it clean. Those rifles really enjoying themselves at this range. No dangers found yet. It's just Nookie and Meadow still alive. And I think Cned wants to start building up his presence towards this too. But the timing, well, Meadow's going to get away for now, but you can see it closing in. And does he expect the next layer to this, which is Nookie? No, but he's managed to make it out of there anyway.
Just up here, and as he just slips out of line of sight of Nookie, he picks up this angle. And damage, not really even much to talk about here. Even okay. As I say, even if he finds the kill there, it's Acend. He's riding this through just on the pistol anyway to make use of the headhunter. Expect him to even be able to pivot off finding that kill onto Acend because there's no weapon upgrade available for him. But come back in, G2 still in a position to comfortably purchase here. I'm seeing too many gaps, maybe on Nuki and a couple of light shields as well across him and Hoodie. But on the other side, Acend's toying with the idea of the operator. Actually, yeah, it'll be Monster to pass it across to him. So economy management actually going to mean that Acend still have a full purchase behind this almost.
What a battle of potentially some of EMEA's greatest. Acend having to do with Nuki's potential presence if he actually does commit to try and take more of that space towards mid, but it's not to be the case in this round at all. You can already see that G2 leaning heavily towards the A site. Double stack towards showers. No one to address that just yet, but the wall going to at least keep the vision obfuscated. And the rotation going to come in as well. So they're going to pull the additional player over. So you're going to have at least Starzo sitting towards the back of sight. But for now, G2 getting what they want.
And the pace show going to go across here. And actually,
oh, the commit.
They come up. Starzo comes over the top and finds the kill regardless.
That's ridiculous. They even get to keep his life. No one able to punish as well. And Starzo just continuing the aggression. This man is completely uncaged right now. And he's still finding damage. This is unbearable to watch as he has just turned the screws so nastily. But it is now just Hoodie in the 1v3. Flash notes the presence. And that spike plant feels impossible.
30 seconds left.
Surrounded on all accounts. Jump spot from Vac. As soon as that wall drops, the grand reveal. Acend waiting, and the punishment given. And Acend continue forward with 3 standing.
Starzo, man. Again, initially, yeah, the paint shell comes through. The satchel over the top, and we finally a little bit of an overheat. Actually, we're popping the showstopper, but you'll allow it in this scenario. This comes through, it's just, again, it's so unorthodox, just completely catching G2 off guard. They don't expect somebody to dig this deep to try and prevent that spike from going down and then follow through on it as well. Yeah, G2 not really getting away with that bread and butter A-site hit here behind the Sage wall. There's just too many tools for Acend to deny this plant.
That was so nasty to watch. Almost single-handedly doing all that damage. And Vac actually eats the flash, has one put back into place, but it was Starkster trying to bail him out, but he actually just copped all the damage. Now Vac has to pick up the pieces, and he does well to find 2 there. Maybe tempering some of the threat, but you can see instantly G2 want to take that space right back. Acend in a little bit of trouble here. The angles are not favorable, and actually goes down for it if I was going to find the punish, but then bodies are on the site, and it's going to be Nuki dealt with. And again, these are brawly rounds, but Acend are holding numbers, and they are...
Is Nuki considering it? It's looked as if this was going to be a setup to try and address showers control early on. The flash comes through, but here's the big adjustment from Acend. The Viper's Pit down short is going to deny any sort of progress in terms of space and make an A-site execute very difficult. Again, with where this Viper's Pit invested is, look how deep Monster's able to sit on it. But they have to walk all the way through that. Taking as much HP off in terms of the decay.
This puts a little bit of pressure back towards Starkster, but you can see the support system of Acend now being pulled over as well. You can have a little bit more faith in the fact that Monster can at least hold this down, right? Because as you said, how deep he is sitting is hard to clear. Now the divides come up and the Seekers have come down as well. Speaking of all those ults, they're coming online now, and that's ridiculous from Starkster. He gets the freest kill of his life. Monster's even succeeding towards Hoodie, trying to make their way through, and it's just looking disastrous. Pop the ult on the other side to at least maybe get a plant, but you can see the Wolves are at the door. There's 5 against them here. Not a single player from Acend feeling that pressure just yet. And Monster's punished up over. It's down to 2. Just Meadow and Mixwell. And how do you feel safe in this? Barely any vision. Surrounded on basically all fronts. How do you hold this post plant? A lot on Meadow and that utility that remains. Has to try and play his life. And Mixwell, you got to take some with you. Ult now drops. Now you get noted. Now you get the fight. The trade comes in and Mixwell falls. It's all towards Meadow. And there's just too many players and too little time to handle them. And again,
it's so bizarre though, Lauren, because they actually have a very, very nice execute on the back of the Cosmic Divide. Actually, a heads up utility usage from Monster as well. The Poison Orb at the Viper's Pit drops I mean, you can see what Mixwell is presented with once it does. It just
Oh,
death.
Yeah.
Like,
He was lucky to even get seen
exactly.
in that. It was just his 12 new angles that are just as likely to have a player swinging you from. It was an impossible position. And Acend are going walkabouts. They're going to have read the money situation. They know what the scenario is going to be. Maybe just a couple of sheriffs here and there, and it's punishment towards Nuki. Mixwell, next on the chopping block, potentially. Noted as well. Oh, this is unpleasant to watch. G2 just getting bullied. Avova tries to bail him out and does. Vac goes down for this over-aggress almost. And Zeke now needs to kind of temper the pace a little bit here. Even up. But again, trying to even filter away the weapons. Keep them out of the hands of G2. They are making this tricky.
G2 will drift back towards A site, where there's an operator ready and waiting in the hands of CNED. Again, with losing Vac as well. Zeke and Saldo just going to stay put. I mean, they can do. Yeah.
CNED forced away. Okay, that's nice. They've at least cleared the front line this time. Again, a lot of this from G2 looks quite good, and then something just falls to pieces. Right, like I've actually quite liked some of the site takes, as you even highlighted that previous piece we saw come in, but how do you hold this down in a post plant with just sheriffs?
Yeah, it's drifting into the sight lines there. And this should be pretty easy now. Look at how much space Acend have got to work with.
Anything to deny this. Anything at all. Tina puts his body on the line. They've doubled up towards the push back through as well. Avova would need something of a miracle. He gets one part of it. The second, it's actually Meadow to help him out. There's still a shot at this one, and somehow the ult goes nowhere. The defuse, no one can help him anymore. Zeke all alone, and Avova's there. Fine. I don't know how that ult did nothing. And again, Avova gets exactly what was needed then. Same with Meadow. That was very surprising to see work out.
Acend has so much space as well. Just initially with that kill onto Mixwell, he's the only one drifting forwards, but between a gravity well and a snake bite, literally closes this out, forces this engagement that Avova and Meadow win out comfortably here. Stars go down to 5 HP, and like you said, finds nothing off the showstopper. A G2 flip a thrifty round that they had absolutely no right to in my eyes.
Hey, it's a reminder that it's still G2, right? Like, we know these guys can do it, but that wasn't one of those rounds you're like, oh, it's definitely going to happen in a post plant like that. Normally, it's super explosive when they convert those, like, slightly forced up, like, sheriffs and light armors, but even playing with a man disadvantage at the start, that's... Yeah, the odds of that feel a bit of a rarity. Now, CNED, rifled up, ult out, holding showers, and actually taking active control this time. A little bit of an adjustment in that regard, but you know, they want to test the waters elsewhere.
Pretty late on here, 60 seconds left on the clock, and G2 with no real progress towards either side just yet, but utility pulled out on both sides.
They're walking long. They're walking long behind this smoke. This is ridiculous. You just don't expect it. But they still get punished.
How did Vac not win that?
Just missed that first shot. Like, shot, that was teed up for him, right? Like, he had the first shot on
Hoodie
him.
walked into the smoke.
Yeah. Well, obviously wasn't clearing that corner either, so that's... Hey, you'll take them if you get given those moments, but they are few and far between. But now they have to make it count. 30 seconds, and they got to make a go of this. Playing up towards long, Nuki gets nothing with the ult, at least clears the corner, but that's about it. Double stacked up, look at this. They take down one, they're even. They didn't check it clearly enough. And Zeke, nice free entry, and now the squad says CNED is on the case, but he needs more, and he does not get more. Avova makes it in time towards Hookah, and suddenly things are looking like the gods are smiling upon G2, because there are some fortuitous moments in these rounds.
Absolutely. I mean, great awareness there to try and regress on the back of noting the operator, right? They know that they have a chance to come through and find a favorable engagement, but I'm not entirely sure how Hoodie wins out. Shift walking into that smoke, it looked as if the angle was being held.
Yeah.
Lucky, though, great timing on Avova there to find that trade, because the slow field from the Tour de Force could have been disastrous following on from that pick.
Man, G2 are playing... I mean, look, we know what this means to them, right? This is a chance to basically stay alive at this point. It's not just another game. They have to keep digging deep like this. Right. Mutually assured destruction. Just...
A key 1v1, actually.
Huge.
Coming out for showers there.
Huge play for showers.
Barry finding a trade.
Barry. Big buzzer. And I think we're kind of going back to what was somewhat working, and the angle. I thought Stoxo had it again, but Nuki, what a shot from him. This thing started, but the brawl begins, and we saw it before, but this time it's Zeke on the case, and he's still up above. He's not backing away from this just yet, but it's Hoodie to find him. That's again with an operator, okay. A 4v3, CNED, Vac, and Monster, and they are amongst them. The wolves are not at the door, they're in the house. Hoodie's there, though, finding two, and suddenly it's all just Vac alone in a 1v4, and he ain't got it in him now. G2. This is just mayhem, but...
In the start of this half, at least. Cena's going to look to get a little bit aggressive on short here with the operator. And actually misses the cross there. And the defender always has the advantage in that scenario, again, to catch the cross, or at least catch somebody walking away from the barrier dropping. Actually misses it here.
Scout destroyed.
Elsewhere, Vac noted at least one player on the other side of the Trailblazer. And no real solid information, though, to act upon here for Acend. We'll commit at least. I mean, Cena's got early enough contact here. If he even doesn't find the kill, they can scramble a rotation through. But Spike not committed either. Does actually catch the return on the cross, but no damage done. Lucky to get away with his life actually in that scenario, Meadow.
Yeah. Wouldn't want to toy with that again, but it looks like they're going to try and congregate towards that B site.
It's pulled the rotation, though, interestingly enough.
Now that's when you get the sweat on the brow, though, and he's put his life for it. A 1-for-1 trade may not be good enough here at this point, because again, Nuki plays just ahead of that smoke popping and gets the punish towards Monster, and the site's all theirs. The Spike slowed down on the cross. Maybe someone could catch it, but you can see just the barrage of utility in the way. There's no way that could be caught. So now Spike's down. This post plant's not going to be easy to break back in towards CNED, Starzo, and Zeke. Got their work cut out now.
And with the judge in the mix as well. And the flash comes through to try and get Starzo back on the stage. Still finds that kill to revolver. Totally blind from the paranoia, but still got more left to do. And Nuki up close and personal finds the kill. 30 HP left for CNED. What?
Oh, fair enough, CNED.
Only 30 HP.
And it's a 1v1. But this time he was getting paranoid about the wrap, but Mixwell has not moved. He held stoic in nature on the site, did not move a muscle, and deals with CNED, who started to heat up in that round. It is 5 apiece now, Mike. This game is as close as I think it's going to get, right? Like, this is ridiculous between these two. But for me, G2 are just being so explosive in nature and hard to quantify, and I don't know if Acend have a beat on it, and their money is now in tatters.
I mean, they overcook it a little bit. Who do they spot? It's Meadow, right? I mean, I don't even know if Evova's confirmed in terms of being just next to him, but that's what pulls the rotation. Really, really strange to see that. Again, the timing just not there. As soon as Vac goes 1-for-1 on long, he tries to slow things down a little bit, buy a bit of time for his team. But again, actually the swing from Nuki out of hooker finds the kill exactly the right time. So I'm actually going to try and... Well, Starzo thinks he messed that up, but nearly actually catching a bit of damage onto Meadow.
But remember, Mike, if this was the other way around, if the buy was the other way around, I'd be like, right, it's G2, they're going to win this round. If they've got Sheriffs, I don't know if Acend have that in them yet. Do they have that G2 spirit to just somehow make it work? I'm waiting to see if it can happen.
Look at the minimap again, though.
Yeah.
What do they think they've learned here? Like,
is it just this? Is it because CNED's taken space and they've seen nothing? But I wouldn't say they've contested shouts particularly often. Like, again, this is the freest side that G2's going to have in a while. They'll take this with open arms. This is great for them. Absolutely. Thank you very much. Get a plant and gets out of danger as well.
Stars are not able to find anything this time around, and will reinforce the lamp's hold this time as well beyond that poison orb. And G2 with a massive advantage in terms of the weaponry here as well. Mixwell makes that show, but actually gets traded out here. The flash is perfect into lamps, but nothing comes of it just yet. Vac, last man standing, will find another. Eventually, yeah, but 2 HP. Hoodie swings through with a classic. And G2, finally, after what seems like an eternity, finds their round win here. Oh, sorry, their round lead. It's only one coming into last, and an opportunity here to actually close out 7-5, what was possible on Icebox as well. Acend almost running out of steam with how successful the start of this half felt, Lauren.
Yeah, no, I mean, part of that maybe... I don't even know how to look at this in an objective manner. Again, Cena and Acend so close again. Those ults coming through, but just that literally one step away in some of these aspects. I want to see what they're up to here. Again, looking at G2, just kind of, testing the water, see if they can maybe feel out where, CNED is with that operator, potentially coming through. Find out where any of these approaches are coming from. I mean, Vac's getting information, but what can you do with it? Sometimes, even after what he's tried the best he can, he still just gets overrun. The patience being shown this time. The tempo change is just so hard to handle. These gear shifts that are coming out from a very, tentative, default heavy start. You can see the exploration coming out towards middle as well. Nuki trying to be the kind of can opener with this. And Monster's not particularly backing away either. Holds the angle. Huge punish on Nuki. A little too confident in the utility to force him away, and that's already a big loss.
Viper's put in response as well to try and reinforce this. Mixwell going to retrieve the orb here. We'll have the res online now. Whether or not Acend are going to make a play to try and deny that. You can see actually Cena posted up, holding it over elsewhere. We'll find a kill onto Starzo to create an opening.
30 seconds left.
Actually,
Shouldn't
yeah.
be napping in showers. It's dangerous.
No.
That amount of water on the floor.
Definitely not. Zeke actually burns the paranoia very early. He's punished as well. Actually, on the back of, luring Acend into almost holding that res. It's almost a perfect bait from G2.
If it works, it works. I wouldn't... yeah. 3 remaining. Steenhead, Vac, and Monster. All comes in as well. Just the icing on the cake. And Hoodie waits. Who's the first one to step forward? Spots him, deals with him. Beheaded. Vac's gone. Monster's barely alive. Literally 1 HP at this point. Cena dives in though, finds Hoodie. Gets the ult out, and maybe there's still a moment of opportunity. Maybe there's still a chance in this, but it has to happen now. And Mixwell willing to try and put his life on the line to hold this. Keep them back by the time. And he finds one of the bodies. Monster's now gone, and it's just Cena. And time is his biggest problem. And look at this. Look at the state of this. Just painted green, and he's got no time and no chances. And I think he knows it.
Somehow,
G2, once they got it started, they didn't stop. You can see the trot of rounds that they went on, but now we switch the sides and see if they can continue this form to keep their life in this entire event. For Acend, looking to disrupt that, do something about it, and this walk up long, gonna call the attention of G2 here.
Flash actually the trade-off of Flash is there, but back a little bit ahead of the smoke. Monster able to trade things out, but Mixwell actually comes through. Starzo though, a perfectly placed paint shell. And Zeke actually good with the backstab as well, giving Acend actually a man advantage here. Okay, Cena nearly.
What is going on? They're just swinging CT, Mike. Just walking through the smokes.
Yeah, of course.
It got worse, Mike. It got worse. And now we're over. It's a 1v2. He's gonna walk the smoke, surely. It's what you do in this game. Yeah, there he is. Off he goes, and he's actually found Starzo.
He nearly got the adjustment.
Quick enough for the trade, but you're right. He was not far away. Bloody hell, this matchup is something else. 6-7 now. And Acend start things off with a round for themselves.
And through just such a weird engagement as well. See Vac drifting so far ahead of the smoke as well. The trade-off of flashes, pretty much identical timing there. The paint shell coming through from Starzo actually to find it. Or at least the response onto Mixwell in hookup. So yeah, I'm intrigued to see actually how G2 are going to approach most of these rounds. But actually straight away Starzo closes the distance onto Showers here.
Nice paint shell.
Wants to follow through on it as well.
He's forced him away. That's one player.
Yeah.
The amount of presence he's just noted or kind of, displayed, he's forced them into such a deeper hold already. A lot of space won early in this, but again, you could see that they were kind of somewhat holding a default, right? They were spread across the map, nothing too much, but that's a big success. That's a big tick in the box to get Showers control so early. Now they do have to still deal with 4 players who've obviously rotated in response to this. Nice little swing towards CT. I mean, there's still a little bit of danger in this, but bear in mind the weaponry, the armor, it's all still there for Acend. Even with the bodies in the right place for G2. And the Savova can double down though. Okay, dealt with by Starzo, and now it's just Hoodie. This should be a formality at this point, and 3 stand.
Decent conversion as well. Okay, across the majority of the inventory here. Oh, actually, CNED sitting comfortably up at 5,300 now. See what they throw in the mix here. Monster already.
That's a good spot.
What's the Spectre and whether they're actually going to pass that across? Well, a Vandal invested here for CNED. We'll put him down to 1,200 after this purchase. So definitely looking to try and bolster this purchase a little bit. So he's looking because there's funds elsewhere to spread the cost a little bit. The rifle not really necessary, but we want to try and make it work. We're not going to try and play some trades off that Vandal.
Right there.
Vova will note actually the poison orb landing, and
They're walking close.
Acend already stacked up on this, Lauren. Yeah.
Vova, lucky to keep his life in this. And Nookie, get out of here! Fighting Sharkshow just flying through the air. There's something about Nookie on this map who gets a little bit more magic allowance, seemingly. As G2 tucked towards CT, they can't move any further forward, just depending on maybe the paint shots to do a bit of chip damage, but that's about all it's going to be. Zeke with the timing, going to keep that just alive for himself, turning in case there's a flash of any variety coming through that, but there isn't. Hoodie looking like they just want to dry walk this. There's the flash, he eats it this time, and actually, he goes down, G2, perfect
so
burst.
good.
Right back through. You could see them attempting to preempt that flash through the smoke, but again, G2 make it work when necessary. 4 of them staying in this as well is massive for their money.
Okay.